I would say that the way Andor has been structured has been really interesting. The first 6 episodes of the show, there's going to be 12 episodes total for season 1, and then there will be a season 2. The first 6 episodes are structured like two 3 episode arcs, where the first episode puts all the pieces on the board, sets everything up, and then episode 2 is where the tension is starting to get higher and higher. Basically, the tension is flaring up, and so you can feel everything building up. And then once you get to episode 3, that's where it explodes. Episode 3 is the payoff episode. And then episode 7 of Andor has actually been described by Tony Gilroy, the showrunner of Andor, as being more standalone. It's not actually the first episode of the third 3 episode arc. Episode 8 of the show is actually the first episode of the third 3 episode arc. Episodes 8, 9, and 10 are the third 3 episode arc, which then would mean that the last arc of season 1 of Andor would be only 2 episodes, episodes 11 and 12. I've actually really been enjoying this structure. I do get that for some people out there Andor has been too slow. I do think the fact that we get 1 episode a week doesn't necessarily help. I think that the show has been really good so far, but for some people out there, it's like too slow or too boring until you get to the payoff. I do get that because like when you watch episodes 4 and 5 of Andor, it's like, okay, this is slow. When you have to sit with that for a week until you get the next episode, some people out there are not going to have the patience for that to wait until you get that payoff. But I have really been enjoying this structure, and in general, I like how Andor has been focusing more on character development rather than action or a huge amount of cameos. I've really been enjoying how the show has been taking its time. It's been a slow burn. It's been focusing on character development. But I do know that there are people out there who think that Andor doesn't feel like Star Wars. And I totally get that because at the end of the day, what it means for something to feel like Star Wars is totally subjective. That's going to depend on one's individual preferences. You can't say that like this is what it means for something to be Star Wars. No, people have different opinions in that regard. That's totally fine. But I think that Andor has been a really good show. Though admittedly I do feel like because Mandalorian is a show that is just more flashy, pops more, I feel like people are more likely to do a Google search for Mandalorian or watch YouTube videos about it when compared to Andor. In fact, I think the sad reality is that there are people out there who have definitely missed out on Andor due to the fact that the character was not all that well known because he was one of the characters in Rogue One but was not the main character and wasn't all that memorable. So I do feel like Andor an up was facing an uphill battle to get people interested. So that's why I do think it was a good idea to release the first 3 episodes of the show at once, because if you only get like the first 2 episodes, then you have to wait for the third episode. I don't think that would have worked. Because once you get to episode 3, you realize what things, what the show has been building up to. Once you see that payoff, then the episodes before the payoff episode become a lot better. So overall, I've really been enjoying Andor. I like how this series has been structured so far.